I am going to prove that saving into an RSP is superior to saving into a tax-free savings account if the money is earmarked for retirement. I'm going to show a little scenario here. We've got two individuals. I'm going to call the first individual Mr. RSP. Mr. RSP saves into an RSP and takes the first benefit of the RSP, which is the tax reduction. Any contribution into an RSP account reduces your taxable income, therefore it reduces your tax bill. He takes that savings and tax and contributes that to a tax-free savings account. And then the second individual is Mr. Tax-Free Savings Account. He does not like the RSP account, so he does all his savings into a tax-free savings account. They both are the same age. They both earn the same amount of income of $60,000, not that that's all that relevant, and they both earn the same rate of return of 6%. So that's the scenario. Mr. RSP uses an RSP, takes the refund generated from the RSP contribution, or at least the tax reduction generated from the RSP contribution, and places that money into a tax-free savings account. Mr. Tax-Free Savings does not like the RSP, so he saves only into a tax-free savings account. Is it obvious that one is superior to the other? And I say yes, and that's what this is. Now, to get started, I'm going to remove my face to give me more screen. So here we go. So after the first year of work, both contribute $5,000. Mr. TFSA only contributes $5,000. It grows by 6% at the end of the year. His tax-free savings account has a balance of $5,300 in it. Mr. RSP contributes $5,000. It has the same end-of-year balance as Mr. TFSA's TFSA. He takes the tax reduction of $1,482 and places it into his tax-free savings account. So he has two balances at the end of the year. He's got $5,300 in his RSP, and he's got $1,571 in his tax-free savings. It makes sense that these two accounts, Mr. Tax-Free Savings account and Mr. RSP's RSP account, grow at the same rate. They grow to the exact same thing. They're contributing the same and they're earning the same rate of return. Okay, so they work for 30 years, and here's what it looks like. So this is the day before they retire. They both have $419,000 in their accounts. This is Mr. RSP's RSP account. This is Mr. Tax-Free Savings account. And Mr. RSP also has this tax-free savings account. So that's what we have. So these guys finally retire. Now let's see what happens in retirement. Okay, let's look at Mr. Tax-Free Savings only. They both have Canada Pension Plan and Old Age Security of $18,000. They both pay $1,223 on that amount. Mr. Tax-Free Savings has an after-tax income of $16,777. He withdraws $30,000 from his tax-free saving, giving him an after-tax income of $46,777. Mr. RSP says, you know what? I want the same after-tax income. He has the same $18,000 CPP and OAS. He redeems $30,000 from his RSP. That comes with a tax bill of $5,244. He turns around and he redeems $5,244 from his tax-free savings. So he has the same after-tax income as Mr. Tax-Free Savings only. So we'll look at year one. Here we go. Mr. RSP, $419,000, redeems $30,000. It's still growing at 6%. So withdraw, growth equals new balance, $412,000. Mr. RSP also has the tax-free savings, $124,000 balance at the beginning of the year. He withdraws $5,244. It grows by $7,141, new balance, 126, 161. Balance is going up, not down. And Mr. Tax-Free Savings, the same kind of scenario as Mr. RSP in his RSP account. 419 minus 30 plus 23 equals 412. So let's fast forward to year 30, the 30th year of retirement. And we can take a look at what the account progressions have been. And we can kind of see, who would you rather be? Who is the richer individual in this scenario? So here we go. Year 27, both accounts are basically exhausted. Mr. RSP's RSP account and Mr. Tax-Free Savings account are exhausted. However, Mr. RSP still has $245,000 in his tax-free savings. His tax-free savings has grown over the years. This is the proof that saving into an RSP is superior to saving into a tax-free savings account in the vast majority of cases if the money is earmarked for retirement. Now, this really works if in retirement one's income is lower than it was when one was working. Now, this is the scenario for the vast majority of Canadians. This is the truth for the vast majority of Canadians. Once you retire, your income goes down. Okay, so what is going on here? Okay, during the working years, Mr. RSP is paying less tax than Mr. TFSA. And during the retirement years, Mr. RSP is paying more tax than Mr. TFSA. However, the lower tax in the working years overwhelms the higher tax in the retirement years. Now, I want to address why the RSP has such a bad name. Don't forget the tax benefit. This is the first benefit of the RSP is that tax contributions lower your taxable income and therefore your tax bill. This is the first benefit of the RSP. This happens at the time of contribution. So an RSP and the RIF combination tend to get a bad name because seniors who are redeeming from their it's probably a RIF by this point, have forgotten about the benefit. The benefit may have happened 30 years ago when they made the contribution. Well, now's the time to take the money out. Now's the time to take the pain. Let me put it this way. The gain happens at the time of the contribution and the pain happens at the time of the withdrawal. Okay, people who are withdrawing from a RIF tend to be seniors. Okay, so seniors are saying, look, this isn't the world's greatest deal. Every time I take money out, I have to pay tax on it. Well, they've forgotten about the benefit from the contribution that happened. It could have happened 30 years ago. No wonder they forget about it. But you can't forget about the benefit. It is there. The benefit of contributing to an RSP more than overwhelms the pain of redeeming from the RIF account. I'm going to leave it there. I think that proves it. Just look at the account progressions. I would rather be Mr. RSP than Mr. TFSA in this scenario. Thank you for watching.